Thank you very much, Madam Director, distinguished state secretaries, honored guests from Croatia, dear children and young people, colleagues and friends on this journey of Children's Rights Days. Good morning. Let my first words be the words of gratitude to the leaders of the Central European Academy and to its staff that are making this event alive each and every year. It is a profound honor to stand before you today at Children's Rights Days 4. I see many familiar faces in this room, colleagues, partners, and friends who have walked alongside in the journey of Children's Rights Days through the past 4 years. I also see new faces, and I welcome you with deep gratitude. This is the 4th time I have had the great privilege of standing before you in this capacity as President of the Association for Children's Rights. Each time feels as significant as it was the first time, because with each gathering, I feel I come closer to understand more deeply why this work matters and what is at stake. As Professor Timea Barzo has pointed out, Children's Rights Days conferences represent something unique in Central Europe. We are not a moment. We are not a one-time gathering. For 4 years now, this conference has been the annual platform for Central European cooperation on child rights and protection. And regional cooperation means that we learn from each other, as Professor Szilágyi has pointed out. We build networks, we share what works, and most crucially, we ensure that children's voices guide the future of our policies and institutions. That brings me to something I would like kindly to ask all of you to do today. I would like to invite all of you to step into our exhibition. The artwork displayed here is not a decoration. It is a gift. It is a gift from children's hands and hearts. It carries messages that every single one of us, adults, policy makers, educators, parents, needs to receive with open hearts. Now, let me begin where I think we must always begin, by listening. I have walked through this exhibition multiple times, and each time I walk through it, I find myself moved. Imagine a child sitting alone with a blank piece of paper and a handful of colored pencils. There are no expectations, no rubric, no grade at the end, just the invitation. Draw what matters to you. Draw what you see. Draw what you feel. That child draws their mother's face. 9 times out of 10 in this exhibition, that is what happens. The younger children, those under 10, draw their mothers, not their homes, not their favorite places, not their dreams, their mothers' faces. When I first heard this statistic from our fantastic collaborators helping arrange the exhibition each and every year, I stopped and I sat with it. And I realized something that should be obvious, but somehow we forget it. In a mother's eyes, in the circle of family, that the child learns whether their thoughts matter, whether the questions are welcome, whether their inner voice, that authentic, unfiltered sense of self, has a place in this world. These drawings are children's way of saying something we must hear. My family's love is the foundation of my being. But look closer at the exhibition. Some of these mothers are smiling, warm and present. Others show fatigue, worry and distance. The children saw that too. They drew that honestly. What they are telling us is something even more profound. We see you. We understand that you are also struggling and are not separate from your pain. This is what struck me most walking through this exhibition. Children are not isolated. They live in a relationship. They experience the world through connection to their mothers, to their peers, to their communities, to the world around them. As we move into the artwork of adolescence, the focus shifts, but yearning remains. Friendship becomes central, peer connection, the bond between equals. What I see in these pieces is deep longing for authentic belonging. Is there space for me among my peers? Can I be fully myself here, or must I perform? We must also witness the darker truth that appears through this exhibition. Many children have drawn darkness, fragmented lines, broken connection. They transform pain into expression and invite us to a conversation we must not avoid but have the courage to engage in. Over 4 years of engaging in the organization of CRD and in different forms of child participation, I have learned that the most powerful advocacy for children's rights happens in the quiet moments when a child knows they are truly being listened to, when their voice is not just heard, but genuinely received, when they see their words reflected back in a decision, in a change, in how adults think about their world. This realization shaped what we are doing today. For the past 4 years, what we have learned through research and conversations is that children in our region are not systematically heard. The UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, Article 12, is clear. Every child has the right to be heard in all matters affecting them, not occasionally, not when it is convenient. Every child has this right, but rights on paper mean nothing without action, and action requires structures. It requires platforms. It requires genuine spaces where children's voices are not just welcomed, but actively sought out, carefully listened to, and meaningfully incorporated. This is what the Central European Child Participation Platform is aiming for, and which preliminary workshop was held yesterday. Our participants, to whom I am very much grateful, I am sure are very tired, but hopefully as proud of themselves as we are with our adult eyes, and are also here today to share their views, and you can find their Child Priority Charter on your seats. This is not a platform about children. This is a platform of children and young people. Children leading, children deciding, children shaping the agenda with adults in a supporting role. The young people here have come from across Central Europe, different countries, different languages, different backgrounds. Over the past day, they engaged in creative exercises. They identified what matters most to them. They listened to each other. They compromised. They found common ground. They crafted their priorities, and they will present those recommendations to you, to adults in positions to make change. But this is not merely a moment. We hope it marks the beginning of a sustained commitment to rights-based methods sensitive to our cultural Christian traditions, where we value that a child is not an abstract rights bearer standing alone, but a person embedded in relationships with family, teachers, friends, faith communities. Our platform's aims honor this profound truth. The child as a subject deserving to be heard, and the family as the first and most important community in which a child grows and learns to belong. This conference is not only about celebrating achievements or discussing policies. It is also about demonstrating solidarity, Therefore, we are honored to send presents to children through the Community Service Central Lipik, a Croatian civil society organization, and we thank you for your cooperation in this measure. This way, we hope to connect the voices in this room with the hands and hearts working in the communities where children need us most. Young people here, you have shown great courage. You have traveled across borders, you have opened yourselves to each other, you listened deeply, disagree respectfully, moved towards consensus. You did it not because you must, but because you believe your peers' voices matter. That belief, that commitment, it is the gift that makes the CRD a unique event. Dear young people from previous years, we honor your work. You helped us to get here. Dear our guests and partners across Central Europe, your recognition that this matters gave and continues to give us courage. The children in the exhibition asked us to see them, to hear them, to create spaces for their authentic voices, even when those voices make us uncomfortable, even when they express pain. The young people here are answering to that call. They are saying, we are here, we are speaking, will you listen? Our answer must be yes, in our classrooms, in our legislators, in our families, in our churches, and also in our academic discourse. May we never forget, in this beautiful venue, in our pleasant discussions and long working days, that each and every one of us as adults has the possibility and responsibility to alter the reality of children by truly turning towards them and listening to what they aim to tell us. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and now I kindly invite you to join yesterday by watching the short video that is following in a while.